All this extreme festival action from Port Elizabeth is proudly brought to you by Investchem, Bridgestone Tyres and G&H Transport. A very wet and cold Aldo Scribante greeted everybody coming from around the country for the Extreme Festival as it headed back down to the Eastern Cape. We kick things off with the Investchem Formula 1600s. Semi-slick tyres on these cars, wings are going to help out, but with the cool and wet conditions, there's a lot of drivers that are concerned that they won't have the ability. One of them being Jason Bright, stepping into a car for the very first time. The local man is going to have to take on some of the usual contenders. Top of the list, keep an eye out for Cameron O'Connor and for Stuart White, who have both had very good outings in the wet in the past. And as the lights go off, we go racing. Down towards turn one, Rob Portman joins me in the commentary booth as Cameron O'Connor tries to go around the outside of his other international prospect, Stuart White.
And remember, Greg, this is a brand new surface here at the Aldo Scribante circuit, so these drivers are really going to have to test that surface out now in the wet conditions for the first time. Gingerly into turn one they go. It does look like it was Cam O'Connor. Watch out for Stuart White, Alex Gillespie, Nicholas Van Vliet. Remember, he's also going to throw his name into the hat. So come gingerly through that chicane for the first time. You can see O'Connor's already trying to stretch that lead and just pull away.
On board as we go here with Rackstraw heading into the Schaeffler S's and out. Heading through Hanger Sweep now. Everything she's got normally in the dry, but in wet conditions, got to be so ginger on that throttle. If you put too much throttle, the thing is going to spin out in front of you, and that's exactly what the Comcare and Universal Healthcare car is trying not to do. At the front end, it's Cam O'Connor with Stuart White right on his tail, and the fantastic racing man who's just come from European duties is now looking to get to the front.
And you can see the big spray coming off these cars, so you really don't want to get caught too close behind the car in front of you. That spray will just hamper your vision also slightly. As you can see, they come into the final turn for the first time now onto the front straight. Stuart White right on the tailpipes there of Cam O'Connor out front. This is the big battle that we've got for the final podium positions and that top six.
Yeah, look at how they're fighting there. Jeremy having a little bit of pressure here from Dolanchek as we go on board with Josh. Heading down the main straight on his tail at the LT. Lieutenant Colonel Alan Mayer retired and absolutely flying. And look at how the water is flying off those tyres. Now, Rob, you've got to take into account some of these guys have used their tyres in the practice sessions during Friday, and now as a dry line starts to form, there's a good possibility that those tyres are going to take a little bit of strain.
Yeah, we're going to see some drivers just falling by the wayside a little bit further down the field. See Bongo Mankonkwana nowhere near where he wants to be. We normally see him running at the front, as is Ian Schofield. Scott Temple way down the field, the former champion there, so he's got some work to do there with Garth de Villiers. But what a drive so far from Jason Bright. Oh, spinning out is Gerard Keldernes. Just shows you in these tricky conditions, one tiny error and that's your race over.
Yeah, a little bit too hard on the throttle, and of course it's going to cost you. Now he's going to hope that he can get it started again. Red flag, unfortunately, has been called as one of the cars has gone off. Reason for that, of course, is that it's very dangerous. Oh, and stalling on the line is Schofield. Oh. Andrew Schofield stalls, hopefully not going to get banged from behind. No, just missing out. All the cars got through there. In fact, just a little bit squirrely by one of them in the back end. Looks like Van Wheelie is the man who's going to have to get away first. But have a look at that. Stuart White, Jason Bright, and Cam O'Connor went into the pit lane. They should have stayed on track when that red flag came out, and it's going to cost them dearly. They've now fallen right to the back of this pack after leading. And Thiago Rebello spins out right into that chasing pack of exactly who I just spoke about.
Oh, we thought that these weather conditions were going to throw a spanner in the works, and that's exactly what's happening here now. Van Vliet is out front, right where he wants to be, and he would have been told by his pit crew that all his big contenders started from pit lane. So a lot of work there to do now for the likes of Stuart White and Cameron O'Connor, who were leading the first part of this race. Here we go on the inside. Here we go, coming already through the field. Check out Cam O'Connor running off on the circuit now. Oh, he's got a lot of work to do.
Unfortunately, he's got those wet weather tyres on, so there's a little bit of traction. Red flag again, kind of expected with Thiago Rebello spun out at the S's. So unfortunately, they have to start this again. This time, though, they're all on track. Not exactly where they were when it ended off, and a couple of guys still battling to get off the line. Oh, look at that. Rackstraw going a little bit of evasive action there as they went down. It's 3x3 into turn one. Is this going to actually end this race, or are we going to get through maybe completing 1 or 2 laps? I'd really like to see that if we don't mind.
You can see Cam O'Connor and Stewie White still had to start a little bit further back after that second restart, and Van Vliet is still out front now. He's going to try and extend that lead ahead of the chasing back Ian Schofield, top Scott Temple right in the midst. I think it was Siabonga Monkokwana who got it wrong off the line because he's dropped way back, as is Andrew Schofield, nowhere near where he wants to be.
Cam O'Connor starting to make his way through the field. Van Vliet leads out, as you can see. Schofield in second place, under attack, into the hairpin. That's going to be tight. I wonder if that maneuver's been able to make. Oh, let's have a look and see. No, I didn't think so. Gillespie running off the circuit as well now. A whole bunch of cars getting it all wrong up into that Valvoline hairpin. Now they come through the sweep, and it's everything she's got through that sweep. Look at this, trying to hang on with a grip. You can see Chase and Bright fighting hard there with Stuart White. And Gillespie, it actually wasn't Gillespie, it was his teammate. It wasn't, it was Rackstraw that went off. So the two cars had a very similar livery. Unfortunately, we got caught out there. And here you can see some problems as well as Rackstraw now pulling to the sideline and off the circuit in the race driver SA car.
Oh, another red flag. These marshals are having to work overtime. Yeah, so another red flag there. I think it's Andrew Rackstraw. Maybe that's caused the flag there. You can see the checkered flag is coming out, so we're going to have to wait and see what the overall results are here. But our COC for the day, Wally, has called it. Here we go. On board with Andrew Rackstraw as we see an incident here going into the hairpin. Oh, he just gets it all kinds of wrong and he just collided with Scott Temple, and you could see that Alex Gillespie going around the outside there. So chaos going into the hairpin.
Yeah, it didn't quite work out there, and unfortunately it's going to be 3 results combined to give us race 1's victory to Nicholas Van Wheelie. Gillespie in 2nd and Stuart White in 3rd. Cam O'Connor, very lucky to survive. He's going into pit lane in 4th place, beating Jason Bright.
Tiago, a very interesting start to the round here at Aldo Scribante Raceway.
Yeah, in qualifying it was dry, so we were able to put out a good lap there, qualified 5th, and then now the rain started coming down, and I've never been in these cars in the rain, so we're learning a bit, and then in the start you couldn't see anything, and then I lost it, and then I couldn't get the car going, so it was a bit of a tough one, but we're hoping to come back in race 2.
Yeah, a tough one for a lot of drivers out there. You can see a bit of frantic work being done in pit lane now to get all the cars back on track, and hopefully they'll all be there. You see a little bit of advice being given there by one of the top single-seater drivers in the country, Piazza Musso, Matt Nash and Greg getting together as well to get their drivers ready to go now. Nicholas Van Wheelie's on board as we head down into the first turn for race 2, and he's already made up 2-3 positions. Look at Stuart White trying to make his way through there. Jason Bright also looking for opportunities, and it's going to be very, very difficult as Scott Temple goes defensive on the inside of turn 1, but Van Wheelie drives around his outside, and here comes Cam O'Connor.
Look how much spray is coming off all the cars. Remember, championships can be won and lost here, so the guys are going to have to be very careful. Nicholas Van Wheelie already picked up that race 1 win. Oh, we got 2 cars already, and it's only turn number 1. It does look like a Tiago Rebello once again. What a terrible weekend so far for him. Red flag is out, so we're going to have a complete restart once again.
Can you believe this? Here we go on board. Have a look at this. This is from Siabonga's point of view, and you can see he has to go driving around the outside. Monkongwana going on the outside to miss the spinning Tiago Rebello, but they'll both be back on track now, and we'll get a restart again. Whoa, what a day for Formula 1600s. Big spray, but as you can see, the rain has stopped, Rob. So during this race, there's a very good possibility of a dry line starting to form. We're on board here with Stuart White as he heads down into turn 1, and it looks like he's got the whole shot and is looking to get away from Van Wheelie, as well as his teammate, Jason Bright, the local man who stepped up into the fantastic racing team for the first time.
That's where you want to be out front. In these conditions, you want to be leading at the front end of this field. That's exactly what Stuart White is doing, but watch out for Nicholas Van Wheelie, Cam O'Connor, Andrew Rackstraw. Great to see him back in the mix. Scott Temple as well managed to fix those cars and get back out there. And of course, in these conditions, experience is really everything you need, and that's showing now with the top 5 drivers.
Now looking to use those wet weather tyres as much as they can. Remember, we did mention in the first race that a lot of them have used them during the practice sessions, so they're going to be a little bit worn. Jason Bright now in 2nd place. Fantastic racing, 1 and 2 with Stewie White leading things out as they go down into the sweep, and you can see Stuart just pulling away ever so slightly. Oh, he runs a little wide out of there. That's not quite the line to be on. Van Wheelie in 3rd, Cam O'Connor is 4. Behind them, look at the charge coming from Temple, and Temple's got Rackstraw all over the back of him. In fact, Rackstraw looking to go on the inside of Dunlop.
Oh, there we go. Can he make it stick? Does look like he's got on the inside there. Yes, he's made it stick a little bit further back. There's Gillespie now coming through the field. He's got the pace to run in the top 3, but unfortunately making his way through the field after a terrible start. Got a lot of work to do, and brilliant drive so far from the man out front. They're chasing Bright. Ian Schofield on board with the Investchem man down the front straight. Look at the vision impairment from the rain.
Yeah, look at how the guys are turning their heads on their helmets as well, Rob, trying to get that visor to be cleared off. Not going to be easy to do that. Hopefully they put some Rain-X or something on to try and get that water off the visors. They'll probably be running something slightly different in terms of visors as well. Having a little bit of air problems to get them not misting up. But now, as we go into the S's, you can see a change up here for 2nd place as Van Wheelie is hunting down Jason Bright and looking for that 2nd place and looking to get the overall win for the day.
Jason Bright looking all kinds of sideways. I think those tyres have cried no more now. Van Wheelie trying every which way possible to make the move ahead of him. But I think Jason Bright, I think his time is now up. Those tyres do look a little bit worn, and he's getting that car sideways out of every turn. Oh, more problems a little bit further down. Tiago Rebello. If I could have 10 Rand for every time he's been off track, I'd be a millionaire. But great to see he's got back up and going again. On board here now with Jason Bright. He's run too deep. Oh, he tried to go too defensive and he's run off track. So that's going to bomb him down the field. Oh, out of 2nd place from the local man.
Yeah, that's a big, big pity. But You can see the kind of action he's able to give. And if Fantastic Racing want to do anything about it, there's a man you should be putting into that second car. He's had a great outing. Yes, it is his home track, so he's going to have a little advantage. Speaking of advantages, where are you going, Alex Gillespie? Sheesh, that was huge. Gillespie tries to get on the pole, but unfortunately loops it out. And that's Gillespie dropping right out of the top 10 potentially.
He's doing a NASCAR-styled celebration there. It's a little bit slippery out there, Alex, but I just got it locked up on the front end. You can't turn the car when the front tires are locked. Here we go on board now with him. You can see just those front tires are just locking all over the place, just slipping and sliding. And unfortunately, that has put an end now to his chances of getting anywhere near the top 5.
ERP trucking aquaplaning down into Dunlop. Cam O'Connor's now moved up to third place, so he's just ticked them off one by one and slowly got to the front end. He's got ahead, as you can see, of the spinning man there. That was Jason Bright. And now, as we start to get into the closing stages, looks like everybody's starting to battle. Those tires are now starting to cry out. You can see that they've had a massive day on the saddle, in the saddle, I should say, and looking for opportunities now wherever they are. Munkankwana looking to get ahead of Temple. Temple will go defensive and keep out Siabonga if he can.
I was talking about the championships and the guys that kept their noses clean here. Andrew Extor, you can see right up there in 4th place. This is a good battle here between the two Schofields, Andrew and Ian, for what is 8th and 9th place there. So the two Investchem cars with a good little battle, a little bit further down the field than they would want to be, but right in the mix. Into the pits, Jason Bright. So unfortunately, the man who's come in for the weekend, like you said, showed very good potential, but unfortunately, race 2 now over for him.
Yeah, Mark Life, I think you need to get a hold of Jason Bright and put him in the car permanently, but I think he's a very good find there. Shuey White coming up onto a couple of back markers, but I don't think he'll be too concerned about them. They're in their own little fight. It looks like that might be Jeremy and Alan Mayer, but I think Stewie will just let them go and wait for that checkered flag. He's going to take the second victory here. We'll wait to see if he gets the overall, because remember, we did have a red flag, but it was right in the front, so it should basically be a full restart here, and Stuart White will get the win. He's a happy man. He's going to be spending the rest of the season here in South Africa and looking for a potential win of the money that's available and, of course, the ride in America. White takes it from Van Wheelie. O'Connor in third, ahead of Rackstraw and Scott Temple. Championship standings, it is Nicholas Van Wheelie now who leads out by 8 points over Stuart White, and that's the reason why he's staying. It's Alex Gillespie just ahead of O'Connor.
Andrew, it's been a nice weekend for you. You've done very well.
Yeah, we didn't expect the rain, but luckily for PE, a big learning curve is I've never driven in the rain before or at PE, so we're very happy with the results.
A nice return to form with your victory in race 2.
Very happy with the win in race 2, but disappointed with race 1. Personally, it was my own mistake that we came into pit lane, should have known better. We came back strong and we showed that we're back in race 2, so now we have to work even harder for the next race, and Wheelie has great pace still. So we have to see it. Big thanks to Mark Lau for all the work he's put in behind the scenes and everybody involved. A big thank you to everyone, and also big thanks to my family, and we'll see what happens in the next round as well. Of course, we'll have to work even harder towards it, so let's see what happens.